Even scientists have discovered that when we rehearse something in our mind, the benefits are almost as good or even as good as doing something physically. For example, using your fingers, your arms to play the actual physical piano. So after rehearsing something in your mind, there will be less clumsiness when you play on the piano, less hesitation. You will notice that your fingering is basically learned, assimilated, that you can use mental anticipation much easier, that mental guidance that is always one step ahead, allowing you to not play mechanically, but with purpose, with intention. In other words, mental practice can be a game changer. Now, you might ask me at this point, what can I do if mental practice doesn't just happen involuntarily for me? How do I train this skill, and can it be trained? Can it be learned, or is it a gift? Is it a talent? Of course, it can be trained, and of course, it can be learned. So let's say that you're approximately level 3 or 4, and you find yourself that you can already read music quite well. In other words, you know the meaning of most symbols from the score. The basic healthy techniques are quite well assimilated, and you don't have to purposely think about each and every single movement while you play. They have become your second nature. And at this point, after a good practice session, when you have deciphered the piece by using the magnifying glass, try to imagine in your mind the first phrase just to the right hand, for example. In the beginning, it might help to close your eyes, to relax, sit comfortably, and visualize how does that first phrase sound. And then try to play it in your head several times, and with each new repetition, try to add some new elements. For example, correct fingering, really visualize how your fingers are pressing the needed keys. What black keys and white keys you have there, the distances between them. Then add a new layer, add sound character. Imagine if that's, for example, a very playful kitten. Imagine how that will sound. Imagine the articulation. Then you can imagine the dynamics, you can imagine the phrasing. But don't make a big, complicated chore out of it. Do it for as long as it feels comfortable. Do it playfully. Enjoy it. Then you can do the same with the left hand for that first phrase. In other words, we are using the magnifying glass practice method even during mental practice, and we are strengthening, reinforcing those neuromuscular connections that are so important during the actual practice.